The last one. So the last kind of step in this is look sideways. So I think if I go right back to the beginning, the very beginning slide where I had some of the companies that I worked for. So I've got companies in there from Coca-Cola to the Rolling Stones. Do you know what I mean? I kind of worked with those are two fairly rock and roll. I'm trying to think of someone who's to Colgate, so toothpaste and the Rolling Stones, or tomato sauce and the Rolling Stones. I mean, it's completely different. I suppose where I'm kind of good at is where my skill kind of lies is I go, what you kind of learn in one industry, you kind of go, well, that's a really good idea. Put that in the top drawer, and you end up then bringing that in on a completely different industry. So if you look outside the aged care bubble, right? Because I think that's some of the danger that a lot of aged care providers do is you kind of go, what's happening in what's happening in my arena here? If you go back to where we've got your client in the middle, all things around them, what do they see and what do they hear? What we call that is visual vocabulary. So what do they already understand? What do they already use? What are they already taking up that is just part of their life, right? Can you piggyback off that so you don't have to explain something from the start again, and you kind of go, we're a bit like that. We're aged care, but like Uber. People go, oh, okay, I kind of understand that. They probably don't use Uber, so it's probably not as applicable. What this allows you to do as well, like I said, I do a lot of, is you get to nick all the really good ideas. Right? Interesting though, if you take an idea from a completely different sector and you bring it into your sector, you won't end up nicking it. You'll end up bringing it in and going, well, it has to change like this, and it has to be like that, it has to be like this. But the idea is the kind of same, and it'll be something completely different. It's a brilliant way of shortcutting innovation to get all the way through. So let's look at how we've done one of those for BaptistCare. So this is one of the, this is a couple of the people that we interviewed for this. So again, we literally have a morning tea, sit down, have a chat with people and go, oh, so what are you guys doing with this? So BaptistCare were one of, not the only one. Is anybody else here does consumer directed care? No, everybody's no. So consumer directed care, basically from last year, the way that it used to be is you actually say, okay, so I'm Gladys from Blacktown. I've fallen down and I've had an accident, but I'm not ready to go into retirement home. I'm not ready to go into residential care. I want to stay in my own house. The government might say, okay, we're going to give you some help at home. The doctor would go, okay, I'm going to get you some Meals on Wheels, some cleaning, and some home improvements. As in put some grab rails and stuff around. And we'll get the people to come around and do that. The government would then give packages to aged care providers who are on, as part of, there's NDIS and there's a few others. And the aged care providers would come and do that. Now Australia is really far behind, like centuries behind, of what other people have done. In other countries, they've gone, to be honest, CDC, which is an awful name, Centre for Disease Control. No, it's consumer directed care, is basically putting the power back to the consumer. That was the whole idea, is you kind of go, okay, Nigel over here, we give Nigel his money, he can pick his provider for whatever he wants. All the aged care providers across Australia at the moment are all scratching their heads and going, how do we talk to people? We've never had to do this before. We've never had to kind of really express why we're different than the other guy. We've just been given the packages from the government. And at the moment, there's a bit of a flux where it's a lot of people are staying with the providers they've already had. But what's going to happen is like a Bupa or someone else will come along and realize that there's billions of dollars in this and start going, well, we'll start providing that service because we know how to communicate with people and we're going to do it much better. So we talked to those people and a few others and kind of went, well, what sort of stuff are you guys buying? And they go, well, we're buying a car insurance, we're buying healthcare, we're buying all of these things online. Interestingly, there's a weird divide at the moment where there's a lot of the one generation who are kind of like, oh, I'm just happy getting a little bit of care. Then you've got the baby boomers, right, who just want everything gold plated. And I like, well, it's got to be super slick. It's got to be, I want to be able to go online, do it, and just be done. So, you know, and realistically, you go, that's going to become the norm. As generations move on, people are going to be more like, this has got to be absolutely amazing. The way that all the aged care providers are doing it at the moment is they're going, you go to their website and it goes, these are the services we can provide you in your home, which could be anything. Do you know what I mean? It could be dog walking. It could be, transport to my chess club. It could be whatever you want. Medication management, incontinence support, personal care. I mean, literally the list, it just goes on and on and on. So the way they're doing that is horrible. Everybody is literally listing those things out with a, now give us a call and we'll come up with a package for you. And people are going, what we found from talking to these people is they went, nah, don't want to do that. I don't want to phone up somewhere for their services and go, oh, what could you do for me? Because it inevitably leads to a conversation where they said, we'll have to send someone around to have a chat with you. And they go, I just don't want a salesperson coming around. And we went like, oh yeah, okay. That was our major insight of literally going, okay, so you don't want people to come to you. They're kind of going, we really want to buy it like car insurance. I just want to kind of go on, kind of select my thing. My son can do it. He can basically go through, kind of show me what we want to get. And if we could do that and do it really quickly, that'd be good. Great. They're not coming up with the idea, but they're telling us what the need is. So we also looked at the other things they buy. So we kind of went, and again, so we're looking sideways out of aged care. We're looking at how other people do it, and we're nicking their ideas. Foxtel. Foxtel's changed slightly now, but this is what it looked like when we were doing them. And it basically went, yep, so this is how you bought Foxtel. I think it's a print ad, yeah. And it basically went 7 steps. So it went, start with your essentials on a 12-month package, choose the channel packages that suit you, add an HD if you want it, watch Foxtel in a second room, here's your extras, here's your installation, here's your flexible guarantee. And you kind of went through it, and you go onto the website now, and they've simplified it down even more, but you can essentially go on and go, I want that, and the sports, oh geez, I don't want the news channels, I want that, and I want that, and I want that, and I want that. How much is that? 79, I don't want to pay 79, or I'll take those out. Why can't you do that for home care? Was our thought. So then we kind of go, okay, well that's our idea. Now we just got to make sure it all sits in with the BaptistCare brand. Again, we know who those guys are now. So we went, okay, so all you've really got to remember is all individual, all connected, all respected. So then you go, we want to empower clients to choose how they transform their everyday lives. Again, remember, transforming life care. Again, we're letting them choose. One size doesn't fit all, individual. The idea of everybody being individual. And it's reflecting our approach to consumer-directed care. And that's the last time you'll see that word. That's the Australian government coming out with something which goes, well, say what it is, and it's horrible. So what we kind of realised is going around to people's homes as well. Some people would be living in a tiny flat. Some people would actually have a large family home, that actually, maybe want, more gardening, and some people haven't got a garden, and some people want transportation, and some people want medication management. So the three things, we've got the brand stuff. We said we need them to be building care packages as individual as you. And the three enemies, I suppose, so the enemies for this is we were going, the idea of not being able to pick what you want. So people would literally be going, I want dog grooming. You haven't got dog grooming on the website. We're like, that's a problem. So the idea of choice. So choice is a solution, not the enemy. Clarity. So nobody, and still weirdly, puts clarity on to go, how much does this stuff cost? I don't know. People coming into this and are just coming out and kind of going, well, I'd like that, that, and that, but I've no idea how much that actually costs. Right? So clarity. And control. So the idea of being able to go, actually, I can afford loads more of that, or actually, I don't want as much as that. I can't afford that. Take that off. Put that on. And delivering on care you can trust. So the thing that we've kind of come out at the other end of, so you can see. So if creativity is an unused solution to a predefined problem, this is the solution because we predefine the problem really easily. So the idea of you choose, so again, there's, even though there's not a BaptistCare logo on that page, you kind of feel it's BaptistCare, it's in their kind of corporate look and feel. We literally went, there's so many services, and literally it can be anything. It can be people literally going, well, actually I want to get a new duvet. And the government goes, well, okay, we'll give you money for the duvet. And you go, well, it improves me living at home. Fair enough, get money for a duvet. And I know people have got money for a duvet. So it's impossible to kind of say what those things are. So we went, but as long as it improves your well-being. So that's the idea, is the whole thing that sits over the top. So we divided all those services into 4 areas of your home, your health, your community, your independence, and stuck them into there. We then we tried it in paper first, actually. I'm going to go paper first. We actually trialed this in paper. So when we had care facilitators going out, before we went off and spent money on producing an app, for people to use, we went, let's try it in paper. And the idea of paper, the care facilitators went out and it initiated a conversation. So they kind of went, what sort of things are you used to do that you'd like to do again? What can't you do anymore that you'd like to do? And it basically got people talking, and they go, oh, I'd really like to be going doing this. And really like, okay, yes, some health, and how's your cleaning going? And it was dividing into those 4 sections. That then went back to, we let that go for a while. We literally got back in feedback, and I'm right, let's make a web version of it. Now you can go to it, it's live now. It's youchoose.org.au. And you can go on, you can make a care plan in 3 minutes. So I can literally go on. So again, we've nicked lots of stuff from other people. We've nicked the user interface or user experience from Virgin Atlantic. Because we love the idea, when you booked a flight on Virgin Atlantic, started off and went, where are you flying to? And you go, I'm flying to Canada. He goes, Canada, great. Next question, where are you flying from? Sydney. When do you want to leave? When do you want to come back? And that was it. It was one question at a time. So it was I call it very Fisher Price, really simple. Because the people, might not be hugely au fait with, web interface. So you want to make it as simple as possible. But they literally go through, so we went and goes, I should do a live demo on it, actually, I don't know if we can get on the internet. But it's basically like, what is this care package for you or someone else? And then it's like, what's your name, what's their name? Have they been diagnosed with, have they been assessed for a home care package? And if they go yes, they can go, well, what level is it? There's only 4 levels from the government. Automatically populates, okay, you've got this much budget. If they go, I don't know, they can nominate their own budget. Again, different questions. And then it's basically, they can go in, they select, so again, then back to the Foxtel idea, they kind of go, so do you want to build your own package, or do you want to build one from our popular packages? So there's things like, there's the Day Tripper, which is about getting out and about. There's one which is about home and garden perfectionist, I think. There's one which is about home improvements. There's one which is about starting and ending the day. So they can kind of start those, but what it allows them to do is when they go in, and you'll see this in there, they can literally go in and go, okay, so this is in housekeeping. So it's dusting, vacuuming and mopping, kitchen and bathroom, bed making, changing sheets, washing and ironing, bill paying and mail management. So they can go housekeeping, and I want to go for 1 visit a week for an hour and a half. That's $69, right? Or they go, well, I haven't got that much, I can bring it back. What it allows them to do, and as well, so I'm flipping between the iPad and the phone, but it works on everything. It shows me how much in that summary I'm spending on what. And it's updating live as they're doing it. So they go, yeah, I want more housekeeping and less of that. So again, the clarity to go, that's what it's going to cost you. If they've got a budget in there, it shows, oh, you're over this, or it goes, you've got this much left to spend. A lot of the people, what we actually found as well is people are literally spending more on stuff because they're aware of services they didn't even know that they could get. They're now going, oh, well, I'll pay an extra $5 a week just to get that. Or if I buy it in a 4-hour clump, I can get it at a slightly cheaper rate. So actually, I get more of that, I get less of that. So they're actually buying these care packages. So again, we're nicking, sounds like we're brand thieves, but we're nicking a lot of other stuff from brands where we've nicked the Amy Girl. So we literally came across the thing and went, everybody was kind of saying, I love the idea of doing this online. Once we got the idea of running the idea past people, said, would it be good if you could do this? Yeah, but I'd like that if it doesn't go well, I can call someone. We went, okay, we'll set up a call center. So BaptistCare set up a call center. We've been training those guys. Won all the awards of 2006 because we just looked sideways at the industry. Interestingly, we've only officially launched in Canberra so far, even though there's bus ads and there's some radio kind of happening around the rest of New South Wales. But the uptake for it has just gone way past what they can deliver. The amount of inquiries has just gone completely off the Richter scale because everybody's just going, oh, I'll go and give it a go. Yeah, of course I'll take that. The problem we've got now is we can't get enough carers to kind of service that need, but it's a nice problem to have versus having no clients. And this will eventually, this will go on to YouTube's too, where we kind of go, okay, that's our title, it'll still be called YouTube's, but you'll be able to go in there, create profiles, organize events. I want to have I want to nick the ideas of Domino's where I can see on my phone where the pizza guy is to where my carer is. How far is the carer away? Well, he's 10 minutes away. Okay, well I can go and do stuff while he's coming here. That's, it's back into convenience again. So there's 12 steps. All the handout kind of little workbook there. If anybody's got any trips home, you're on trains and stuff, just have it around and just start filling it out as you go. Because you'd be surprised at the stuff that will come out that you can start implementing into your business.